What up, YouTube?
This is FBell, and today I bring you guys a farming strategy for lastepoch. This strategy that the community brought to me consists of creating a Lost Folly and trying to surround it with as many false temples as you can. So in this case that I'm doing, this first will be a bad one. So I'm gonna create a second one right here. Look. So I can surround this Lost Folly with 6 false temples. And what does this do? So when I complete the Lost Folly, I'll scatter the Weaver's followers across the surrounding echoes. So that means that the surrounding echoes will have more packs of monsters, Weaver monsters. And that'll give you extra XP, favor, loot, just everything. So this strategy was first created by Empyrean. I also saw it on Frozen Sentinel's channel, and some friends commented, and I'm bringing here because it's very good strategy for farming. Pay attention that for this strategy to work, you gotta have enough woven echoes of the false temple and Lost Folly. As you can see, I don't have many false temples here. Also, you're gonna create day 6, do all of them, and then go to the next. Because I can do that. I can just put another one here and create. And sadly I don't have enough, but I can keep creating, you know. There's a limit to how far the web can go, but if you get there, just get a shade and reset the timeline and do it again. 2 extra tips here. What build you're gonna use for farming? Well, I'm playing the Judgement Paladin. It's a max roll build created by Volca, and a lot of people are using it. I changed 1 or 2 things, so I'm gonna leave the lastepoch tools on the description for you guys to see how I'm doing. I'm still gonna work on this build. I didn't get where I wanna get, but right now I'm easily farming 850 corruption and still raising it. I can farm normal Aberoth with this. I gotta test Uber later, so it's a pretty good build for farming. You don't like the Paladin, you can choose other classes that might work for farming these. It's just gotta be effective. When I say effective, I want you guys to remember this graphic. So this graphic is showing the corruption and how high it raises the monster health, damage, experience, and rarity of the loot. So as you can see here, this blue bar is experience, and the red bar is health, damage, and rarity. So what you wanna farm? If you wanna just farm experience, also note that favor is linked to experience. The more experience you gain, the more favor you gain. So if your main objective is to just farm favor on this season, you're gonna wanna raise corruption as high as 1,000, more or less. But as you can see, if you don't have enough good enough build yet, at 300 is a threshold. Experience starts to slow down. So if your build is between 500 and 300 and you just want to farm experience and favor, you can stay comfortably at 300. What this graphic shows is, think about where your build is most comfortable farming, where you're not dying, where you're not wasting time dying, and where you can just keep going, you know? Sometimes it's worth to decrease the corruption a bit to farm more. That's what this graphic is showing. But if you can simply raise corruption, then raise corruption. You gain the same favor / experience, but the rarity of the drops will just keep growing. Just as an extra here, you can also see that, let's say if I want to farm boss gear, and every boss has a different line of the drop chance and corruption, but you also don't have to get to 2,000 corruption. There's also a threshold. So if I want a Twisted Heart, for example, around 500, it'll pretty sure drop, but the threshold is 720. So around here it stops increasing so much, it starts to go a straight line. So it'll be worth to increase corruption thinking about the rarity and the better chance for LP, but the gear will probably drop here. This on 720 you have 40% chance to drop. On 0 corruption you would have 6% chance. So this is just an example with Emperor of Corpses. Sadly, he doesn't have Aberoth here because I wanted to see the drop chances on Aberoth. Another interesting graphic for farming is this monster's bestiary, also on Tank Labs. So in here we can see the base experience each monster gives. So we can see Emperor of Corpses here giving the highest experience of all monsters in the game, giving us 55,000. Of course, this is a boss, so for farming purposes, it's not very good because you can't just keep killing him. You're gonna waste all your envies and all your other stuff. But you're gonna see boss, 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 and as you go down this list, you are gonna see some normal monsters. For example, notice that this is base XP that gets multiplied by corruption. Covenant of Dominion is good, but he's still considered a mini-boss, so he's also not that common. I remember Siege Golems also being very good XP, but oh, here he is. So for normal monster, the best is definitely Siege Golems. So if you find a map with a lot of Siege Golems, try to kill as many of them as you can. That'll translate in as much XP as you can, because bosses, you're gonna find 1 or 2 boss per map. You're not gonna find much more than that. But when you find maps with Siege Golems, it's gonna have like 10 of them in the map. So you just go after all of them to get better favor and XP. Let's say you did all of these echoes, you farmed all you could, and now you gotta reset your timeline. So what you need to do is get 7 to 8 plus Gaze of Orobis. You can do that with a Harbinger's Needle, so you just kill the timeline boss with this needle. It's an idol on your idol slots, and it's gonna give you 3 gazes. You can kill the boss with or without the Harbinger, it makes no difference. I kill it when I just want to raise, I kill it without, just to go faster. Then you do any map, any echo, anyone you want, and you get a very good chance of getting a Pity Shade. This normally wouldn't be here. This appeared here after I did this echo. So I have 8 gazes and I did this echo and disappeared. So this is what we call the Pity Shade. I don't know why Pity Shade, but it calls that. Anyway, and if you want to reset your timeline, but you don't want to raise corruption, you can always get Purge Horizon. So this will make it so that when you kill the shade, it resets your timeline, but you don't get corruption, so you maintain your corruption. I'm gonna raise mine, but that's the strat for you guys to do. That was the strategy applied. As you can see, I killed 3 bosses. In here on Lost with Folly, then I did only two false temples, really fast. So next I'm gonna do this one and the next one. So I did 3 of them. I'm with 6785. So that was 5k favor that I got in seconds. Not seconds, but in minutes. And the chance for really good loot and everything else. So this is a really good strategy for farming favor. Also, again, if you don't have false temples, you can also use Soul Foundry, although they take a little bit more. This is faster. If you don't have enough Woven Echoes to do this, you come to the Haven Silk and talk to the vendor. Then you come here and you can buy false temples and Lost with Follies. As much as you need. I have 5 and I need more of that one. That'll also increase your Weaver progression, your Weaver rank. As well as doing these echoes will also provide you with more Memory Ember and some Woven Echo drops from the bosses. So this is a self-sustaining strategy. So on the Weaver tree, while you're doing this, remember that you can use some nodes to buff up the experience. First of all, I always like to get Gift of the Allegiance. So you found favor caches, it's some caches that'll drop favor books just like experience books, and that's just free favor. It'll give you around 2k each. Then think about the Woven Echo that you most want to farm and you put on Woven Riches, so it has a higher chance to drop. I have Conquer Tower here because I love it, but you can do this with any other echo. I just like to cook shit in the Nemesis, you know. There are also these free echoes in which you put weapons for a chance to drop a bunch of them when you open a Lost Cache, kill enemies, or champions. So decide which weapon. Oh, there's also this one, sorry. This one has a chance to drop armor that you wanna, or jewelry that you wanna farm. So choose a tier 7 affix that you really want in here, or choose even better. I have 2 swords as example for this. Let's say I'm farming for my Transcriber sword. I want a double tier 6 or 7 on it. And I'm gonna get this sword that has 1 tier 7, 1 tier 6 prefix, which is very good. And I can put it here. So if it's not the affix I want, there are 2 things I can do. First, I can take this sword, and I don't want this. I can go to Rune of Redemption, because it changes the affixes on the item without changing the rolls. So that means that when I use this, I'll have another T7 and another T6. And they're not so easy to find, but you can keep rolling this until you find what you want. At least 1 row or 2 rows if you're lucky, and if you have enough runes, and then put it on those spots to farm. See, almost what I want here. So that really depends on what you want. So let's say I want to go back. No, I want to farm swords with tier 7 attack speed. That's the thing I want the most. Then you go back there and you put the sword there. Or I want a sword with double affixes. Sorry, prefix and a suffix. I have one here, double tier 6. So keep farming this. I am COF, so my chance to drop shit is higher. But you can do that with Merchant's Guild. You can buy a good sword or a good whatever you need and just do that. Remembering, on these you can put weapons. This is any item. This is just weapons or jewelry, and this is armor or weapon, and this is armor or jewelry. So there are limited chances. How do I use lenses? I have a classic here. I usually go with the equipment I want. I was farming for +4 on Judgement. Then I get Refracting Lens of Wealth. It increases the cost, the favor cost, but it doubles the rewards on completion. And Lens of Rhyme offer twice as many uses before expiring the prophecy. Twice as many uses before expiring the prophecy. So what this means is that some prophecies like this one will drop 14 unique rings. And I have 67k, but I can raise a lot of disfavor with that strategy. Then come here, use these lances on the gear that I need. Let's see a gear that I need right now. What do I want the most? Okay, I want healing effectiveness on rings. So I'm gonna put a lance of rings there, and I'm gonna re-roll. Here, exalted ring. Arena, nobody does arena, never get these ones. For me, it can be exalted or uniques, because these two rings can drop, and if I get an LP 3 or 4 of them, it's great. But what I'm looking for here is also not dungeons. Rare enemies, no, I'm not gonna go in a dungeon. I'm looking for bosses. What am I gonna do? Okay, right now I'm going to farm those Woven Echoes, so I'll be there. What will I find there? I'll find champions, I'll find map bosses, and I'll find rare enemies. So any prophecies that has anything related to that I can take, because it won't take me out of my way. I'll just keep farming while doing what I was doing, so I take advantage of both, you know, I don't get out of my way. Emperor of Corpses is interesting, as I'm doing Reign of Dragons, I could take that one. Death of Champion, 6 unique rings, that's a good one for me. Rare enemies, that's also a good one for me. It's exalted jewelry, but that's okay. If it drops an amulet, I'm also happy. Shade of Aerobis, I can do shades while I'm doing this. After I finish those Woven Echoes, I'm gonna restart the web, so I can do shades. Exiled Mages, they've been a rough spot for my build, so right now, no. Emperor of Corpses again, that goes. So, Abomination, no. Emperor of Corpses again on rings. You can see I can do 2 times, but this one, I don't like it. It has a chance to, has 1 LP drop, and it only drops 2 rings, and it's freaking expensive. If you're doing this, you're COF, sorry. If you're COF, every prophecy is gonna drop an LP1. And some prophecies drop 14 rings, so it's not worth it. Sometimes I do get the dungeon bosses, because this is Jura. Sometimes I have to kill Jura. Sometimes I have to farm a boss specific drop, and with Portal Charms, this is very fast to do. Like, I can do 2 Juras in a sec. So this is also a good prophecy to get. Exiled Mage is also good, they come in lots, it's just not good for my build right now. Rare enemies, another Jura. Death of Boss, this is great. This is how I farm prophecies, guys. These 2, in my opinion, are the best lances. The item I want here to find the most, and just go back to grinding. While I'm grinding, I'm gonna find all these ring prophecies and relics and shit that I put here. I took some relics because it's not my ideal, but I'm also want to find an LP2 of this one. In my ideal world, I'd get a +4 on judgement and a plus tier 5 healing effectiveness or health or whatever. We can dream. That's it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, really enjoyed the tips. Get into some real good grinding right now, and I'll see you guys later.